Hi everyone, I'm Tony Jackson. Here is your weekly reading for the week of 3rd of April through to the 9th of April 2017. For this week's reading, I'm going to use the Romance Angels cards by Doreen Virtue. I think I've used those a couple of times in the readings, and share some guidance my angels gave to me just a few minutes prior to doing this video. So I asked for something that I can share with everybody. Usually relates to myself as well, and something that I can work on with myself as well, but I do like to share it on this video. What they actually said was, we can look at releasing fears of meeting your soulmate, or fear of recognizing your soulmate. If you don't like using fear, it could be block. In some cases, you might feel it's the word karma. Sometimes we have to work through issues till we actually find our soulmate or whatever we're working towards. Doesn't have to be soulmates, but in this case, they said, look at releasing fears around recognizing or meeting your soulmate. Now, with recognizing, you could actually already have met them, but because of whatever reasons, blocks, issues, karma, you might not actually have recognized them as a potential soulmate, meaning kind of life partner, love, romantic relationship. If you're actually in a relationship and it seems to be stuck or not going somewhere, it could be also that on an energetic or soul level that you actually haven't identified them as your soulmate. So I kind of feel it's more for the people that haven't met somebody as such, but it can cover a broad range, almost too much for us to identify. So what the healing part of today's video will be is releasing blocks on identifying your soulmate, whether you met them or not. So the way we do this, we're going to actually look at it is in the way of being karma. Now, karma meaning it's your life lessons, so it may be something that you had to learn and go through, and when you're finished, it's time to release the block and either identify your soulmate or meet your soulmate. I'm referring to soulmate in this case more being life partner, romantic partner, that type of soulmate. Although there can be other soulmates. You can have soulmates in your friends and families for other reasons. It could be that you're lifting your karmic block on. We're going to call it karma. We're going to bring in, firstly, the Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the angel that's a very good angel for protection and releasing fears and negativity. Archangel Michael, please cut away with he has a sword of light. You can actually visualize him cutting away negativity, fear, blocks, using his sword of light. If you don't like the word sword or the fact that he's got a sword, you can ask for just Archangel Michael's light to cut away any fear or negativity on meeting your soulmate. So that'll be step 1, using the light of Archangel Michael, free will and choice to cut away any fears, negativity, blocks from Archangel Michael. I do that because it's like there's cords coming in our aura, or there's negative energies in our aura that can be released. In this case, we're looking at releasing blocks on recognizing and identifying your soulmate. Interesting, isn't it? How you can actually meet somebody and not recognize them as your soulmate. It's because we're just learning so much in this time of awakening. So that's step 1, Archangel Michael, free will and choice to release any blocks or negativities or fears around identifying your soulmate. Step 2 is we're going to actually ask for the Lady Portia. Now, Lady Portia actually is the head of the Karmic Board, and you can call on her to release any issues or things relating to karma, and she may lift the karma for you if they choose to. So it's good to ask, and then they'll do what they can for you. I often call in Lady Portia a lot of times over since I come across Lady Portia. So she's the head of the Karmic Board. So we're going to ask now Lady Portia, and anybody can call on her. It's just a matter of knowing them and knowing how they work and how they can work for you, and asking the right things helps too. But I mean, when you initially meet one of these Ascendant Masters or come into contact through, however, I mean, you can find them on the internet and feel drawn to working with their energies and read a little bit about what they do, and then you kind of build this rapport with them and learn when they can help you or not. You might want to Google Lady Portia and just see what you find. And sometimes you read different things that they do, but it's really like one time you might read they're the head of the Karmic Board, and the next time you might read that they do something else. It's about you identifying with yourself what they can do with you through your own intuition, really. But just as a starting place, you can just read about what they do. So I've actually established a connection with Lady Portia, and she is the head of the Karmic Board. And in this case, I feel that we can actually call on her, and you're all welcome to do it too. While you're listening to this, it will be done for you. Calling on the Lady Portia and ask her to lift any karma in relating to identifying your soulmate. Please, Lady Portia, I was really going to say Lady Soulmate. Lady Portia, please lift any karma that we may have on any area, really. I mean, you don't have to really ask her for help around soulmates. It can be any area that you feel you might have karma, like health or work or responsibilities, anything like that. Lady Portia, please lift any blocks on around, and especially this week they've said, identifying our soulmate. Now you might question, well, is it done or is it not done? Well, you just leave that up to them. What our job is to ask, and in this case they suggested that we ask about lifting blocks on identifying your soulmate. So I'll just leave that with you. Establish that rapport with Lady Portia if you can, and especially working on soulmates this week. That was the advice I was given to share with everybody. So see how you go with that. I hope something wonderful happens. So I'm going to choose a card from the Romance Angels. So what we're going to do is, as I do with all my cards, I put them to my heart chakra and bring down a white light of the universal energy, and bring that down through the chakras, out through the heart chakra, down through the top chakras, out through the heart chakra. Spinning white light energy helps you to get a bond with the cards, a rapport with the cards, and helps you to bring out intuitive messages and guidance. You begin to use the cards as vibrational tools rather than physical cards. So let's have a little shuffle, and I'll pick one and see what the message is for all of us. Let's just do a little, just in case you need another message in relation to relationships. Just have a little focus. If you focus and I focus, we'll get a great message. So this message can actually be directly for you. Well, the healing is for everybody. But sometimes when you pick a card, you think, I wonder if that's for me. Codependency, that's interesting. So addictions are affecting your romantic life. Isn't that interesting? Sometimes we can be over-reliant on other people to help us work things out. So that could be one of the blocks. Although I think the block that we cleared earlier was particularly in relation to identifying your soulmate. So for some reason, you might be focused on particular qualities that you want in a soulmate, when your soul is actually showing you something quite different. And it's the soul that knows more for us, for whatever reasons, whether things haven't gone right for us in the past or we just don't know. Sometimes we simply just don't know. Then we haven't got the ability to actually recognize what our soul wants as far as a soulmate, really in any area, but particularly we're focusing on soulmates. So we actually block our own soulmate because we don't know our own soul. So it's quite interesting. So Lady Portia will help us lift that. But the codependency sort of comes with depending on others to work things out for us in this case, although it can be, it says addictions are, you can be addicted to relying on others. So I'm just asking the Archangel Michael to cut any cords with those that we're relying on. Archangel Michael, please cut any cords, known or unknown, to those that we're relying on. So if you've got an addiction in some area of your life, that can be quite interesting too, because that may be affecting your soulmate coming in as well. For addictions, it's a little bit of a fear energy there, or a lot of a fear energy. You've acquired a fear of something in some way, but it's not to say point the finger at you or anything. It's just a matter of asking the fear to be released. So if you do have some type of addiction that's affecting your relationships, let's just get quiet for a moment. We're going to ask the Archangel Raphael, because I feel the core of some addictions are fears. We're going to ask the Archangel Raphael for you all now to release the fear part of the addictions or the codependencies and release it to the light. It's now my free will and choice to release the fear sides of the addictions and codependencies and release them to the light. And just allow the angels to come into your body. It kind of feels like it's in the body, but it's in the mind as well, and release those fear addiction, the fear part of the addictions. It's my free will and choice now to allow the Archangel. I close my eyes because I get a little bit more in tune with what we need. Archangel Raphael, our higher self, to release the fear relating to addictions. Well, we hope that the fear is the whole addictions and it begins to shift. Now, don't worry with addictions if it takes a while. Just do it little bit by little bit, because you may have layers, and that's why it's an addiction. So if you just do layer by layer by layer, the good way would be to cut Archangel Michael to cut cords relating to the addiction, and then the Archangel Raphael to heal the fear part of the addiction would help as well. And just see what happens, and then you may need to do it again and again until it clears. But just be aware of the positive shift that happens after the first time you do it. Because with addictions, you tend to clear something, but then you go back. So just be aware when you do a little bit of healing, be very aware of the positive shift that it makes, and then you'll be able to go to the next step and make another positive shift, and you may find that it begins to clear for you. A little bit of patience and a little bit of work. It also helps you build a closer relationship with the angels when you're working through things like that. So that's an interesting card to come up for relationships. I've actually had that card come up before in the Romance Angels, so it's an interesting one to have included in that deck. So dependency on others, and they mentioned down the bottom there addictions, that's why I was talking about that. So I hope that I'm just feeling we need a little bit more energy today. Something else is coming to mind, a little bit separate from what I was just talking about. Sometimes within our being we need healing and repair for some of the chakras. Now the healing and repair comes when we're a little bit overexhausted, overdone something, and our chakras can need a little bit of topping up. Now the healing and repair colours for the chakras, if there's a little bit of damage or some overwhelmment happening, we'll need some healing and repair. So what we do in that case is we ask for gold and silver light to be passed through the chakras, and simply ask for that gold and silver to do healing and repair, especially on the chakras, but it may be on other parts of your energy field as well. So just visualize gold and silver light coming down through all your chakras, and just ask your higher self to use that gold and silver light to heal and repair any chakras that is needed for a little bit deeper healing. I ask my higher self to use that gold and silver light for healing and repair on each of my chakras. Healing and repair on the base chakra, healing and repair on the spleen or sacral, healing and repair on the solar plexus if it's needed. It may not be needed. Healing and repair on the heart. Now we've got the thymus chakra that's coming up a lot this year. I actually added the thymus chakra into our yearly reading this year. So healing and repair on the thymus, in between the heart and the throat, sometimes called the higher heart. Gold light energy there, gold and silver for healing and repair. Healing and repair on the throat. healing and repair on the third eye, healing and repair on the crown. That's just an additional extra today, just in case I might have had something in the throat because I'm getting a bit croaky all of a sudden. Healing and repair on all of those chakras, just in case something's gone out. I just had a little bit of a feeling to do that for you. I'm going to leave it there now. Very excited about this week, and I've just finished also recording the monthly, which was quite exciting. Now, what was the monthly on? Oh, it was on the unicorns. Very exciting, very fanciful fantasy realm to work with, but very, very important as well. So do go back and watch the April monthly video if you haven't already. I'm going to leave you here now. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to message me in relation to this video. If you'd like to book a private session, I'll leave the link to my webpage. You can book through my webpage, or you can message me or email me. I'll leave my email address as well. I'll leave you here now. Just leave it up to the angels, and they will help you with it. They will work out what experience and what needs to happen as well. So you have to have a little bit of faith once you're asked. That's it for now. Lovely to spend this time with you. I'm Tony Jackson, and we'll look forward to next week's reading. Bye.